Now that we've written that code, I want to actually step back now to our conceptual view and talk about what we did, okay? So we wrote some business logic, our problem-solving code, which turned out to be more than one function, which was two functions. And what we're going to do with that is we're going to tie our presentation logic into that business logic, because what we did first, and you should always do first, is write your unit tests, which actually tests your business logic, okay? So the next part we're going to do is just some wiring up. Now we know our business logic works great. You guys are going to trust me that we have some presentation logic, and we're going to put the minimum amount of logic inside of a presentation to get it to work, okay? So we're going to really be just tying into it. All right, and in order to do that, if we go into our editor again, on our index.html, we're actually going to run this guy. So we're actually going to run scripts index. Okay, we're going to save that. We're going to have a look at the browser, see what it tells us. Just have to get out of this, and we're going to look at the loan calculator, and it's going to give us an error right away saying that the index.js doesn't exist. So let's create that guy, which is true. We haven't created it yet. So we're just going to create that guy. We're going to tie it in, and then we'll be done here in a few minutes. Okay, so what we're going to do, go back to this view. We're going to go inside of our scripts, and inside of there, we're going to create a new file. And in there, we're going to create an index.js. Now, I use a couple naming conventions here. Sometimes I call it index.js. Sometimes I call it main.js. I'm beginning to like the index.js. So all I'm going to do is just go line. You guys can see I'm doing that. Hello world, which is the thing we should always say. We have auto load going up, and what we should see in the console is it says hello world. So that's really cool. So the next thing we're going to do now is we're going to actually set it up so that when I push this button, it's going to say something over here. Okay. All right. And what we're going to do is we're going to add a listener, and I'm going to steal a piece of code because I don't want to figure it out in front of everybody. I'm just going to steal a piece of code that's going to just, there we go. All right, and one thing I want to show you first, I'll put it in here, but I'm going to just show you. If we're in the browser and we're running that code and we have the form, and I generally use IDs to do this, but this will work well. So if I go document, okay, and just show the document, I can then press the plus sign, and by going into there, I can see little bits of it, go into the form, and have a look at little bits of it, okay? What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go document dot, and this is called load data. So there we are. We're going to have a look at it. And inside of there, it's showing me the form. And inside of there, there's a table, and I'm not going to bore you with it. But if we go in there, inside of there, if we look at our JavaScript, we have another one called, I think it's called, okay, and that's our button. Okay, so that's what's going to actually do the compute for us right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to add an event listener on this guy. Okay, so I'm going to just copy it right from there, and I'm going to actually put that into our code. Oh, we've done that already. Document.code listener. We're going to add an event listener on click, and all we're going to do is print a console saying, hey, we're inside the click event. Okay, so I'm going to go back there. Now, if I inside the click event, isn't that cool? Okay, so if we're inside of the right, okay, what I'm going to do, and for different reasons, I'm going to create a function called calc. I'm not going to get any parameters to it, and I'm just going to say console log, we are in the calc function. Okay, and then all we're going to do is have this kind called calc. And if this is working like it should, we should get the printout of those two statements. When I push the button, yes, right on. So now this is an important aspect. So now that I'm within the calculation function, within the index function, if I play my cards right, all I need to do is copy. Now this is from my test, right? I'm going to copy my import statement. Which one was I using here? I didn't realize there was two of them. Mort func. So I'm going to get rid of mort func. I don't know why this one's in there. Okay. I'm going to copy this guy. And I'm going to put that inside of my index.js so that I have all the access I need. Okay, so there it is there. I don't need this comment anymore. I don't need this anymore because I know I'm there. And I don't need this guy anymore. So what I'm going to start doing is trying to get the values out. Okay, so let's just, what I'm going to do is a lot of playing. I'm just going to console log these statements. Okay. So all I'm going to do is try to get it to print what the principal value is. All I want to do. You know, I should run this test. I made a little change. I want to just make sure that I haven't. Yeah. Oh, I just want to do npm test. Just make sure all my tests work properly. Oh, I have a failure. What the heck? Oh, look, I used both, so I'm going to just mort function. And where else did I do it? Looks like I actually used both of them. All right, I think that might be it. Yeah. Okay, just be consistent. All right, so now my index, I saved that, okay. So now, if I look, when I type a number in here, 10, and I press this compute, it does print out 10, and let's go 10, 10, 10, and I press compute, voila, it prints out 10, 10, 10. All right, so right now I'm just going to stop, make sure everything's okay, see if there's any questions. All right.